シリル様はきちんと自分の仕事を全うされていた。なのに悪くないんです、シリル様は。
Secrets of the Silent Witch, my friends, we were on a generational run. We were on just a crazy run of just 8 nearly, you know, in the context of the show, nearly perfect episodes. Like, I think all of them, you can there's an argument to be made that all 8 of the first episodes, I know we're talking about episode 9 today, but there's an argument to be made that all 8 of those first episodes were either 8, 9s, or 10s. Some of them were for sure 10s. Last week's episode was wicked good. Like, it had Monica revealing herself, being badass, being the Silent Witch without her cloak, summoning a Spirit King, destroying a barrier, just being just like crazy, right? Like, last week's episode was so good, and it was all about Casey and the twist of her trying to kill the prince, and the fact that Monica already knew that she was a little, like, you know, she's been trying to get her a little bit and still wanting to be her friend, and dismantling a barrier that Louis apparently spent like a month on, that she spent, I think she said, like 1 minute, you know, something crazy, right? So she just proved once again that, like, the Silent Witch is like the #1 witch. Okay, now let's talk about episode number 9. So number 9 is the fallout of Casey. It's Louis coming onto the scene along with Rinsfeld or whatever her name is, and the judgment day for Casey. And eventually Monica gets her to a place of, you know, she works out a deal with Louis that, like, you know, don't kill her, don't use my manipulation, whatever. And he's like, okay, well, if Casey will just confess herself, I'll send girl to a monastery or something like that, right? So she feels pretty good about it. Then she later on chooses the chess club as her elective class in school. She has a cute moment with Felix on a horse. Felix has a moment where he shares his love for the Silent Witch because he's been saved before. Monica shares a cute moment with Cyril. Claudia comes into the mix and she's putty with that one guy. I forget what his name is, but one of the boys in student council, that's her fiance. She's putty with him. Monica cries a lot because she can't tell everybody what happened. And it's pretty much the episode, and we get a preview for next episode with some Star Seer or something like that's going to come into the mix. But overall, this episode was very meh. It was boring a little bit. I don't even know if boring is the right word. It was just, I had no emotion watching this episode. I didn't get sad. I didn't get mad. I didn't laugh. I didn't go, oh. Like, I just watched the episode. So I wouldn't necessarily say boring, because I definitely don't think that's the right word, because, again, this show's been on a generational one. It earned itself a gimme. It earned itself a less than episode in comparison to the other episodes. So I wouldn't say it's boring, because, you know, it set up Monica's humanity. You know, she cried a few times. She's a big crier. It set up her, you know, increasing her relationship a little bit with Felix and a little bit with Cyril. It showed us her compassion for Casey. It showed us the chess club and the guy that she's playing chess with. I forget what his name is, but, you know, he basically had a thing out for Felix. At some point, Felix forgave him. That's how he became friends with Felix. Now he sees what Felix sees in Monica as just like this. Like, there's no hate in her. You know what I mean? Like, because he tries to get her to be like, hey, you know, last time, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, I have no problem with you. Like, I just want to play chess. Like, I think this is fun. And he's like, man, that's cool. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to explain, but he's like, man, I see it. So that was a cool moment. So the show, this episode had cool moments, and it had cool things, you know, forgiveness, humanity. but nothing excited me like the last 8 episodes. So I think this is the worst of all 9 episodes so far. But it doesn't paint the picture of like it was a bad episode. Because I want to make sure that I'm very clear. It wasn't a bad episode. It just, in comparison to this generational run we've gotten, it's just like, oh man, this was okay. And I think that's okay. They earned that. So next week we're going to be talking about the Starseer witch Mary Harvey. She is she has big eyes to see very far into the future, you know. So that's going to be interesting to see on what that means for us for the show. But we have episode 10, 11, 12, and 13. So we have 4 episodes left. That's 4 fingers. So we have 4 episodes left, and yeah, this continues to be awesome. I wasn't able to cover the show until a little bit later in the day today, so I was able to watch the dub. Dub is 2 thumbs up for me, so I love the dub so far. It's really good. There's a couple voice actors this week that was, you know, I could have done it.
I could have been like Moana.
Moana?
Monica Everett.
I could have done it. But regardless, it was still a good episode. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments. Thank you for making to this part of the video. I appreciate you guys. Sound out in the comments below what you guys thought. What was your favorite part? Do you feel the same way? Like this was a slower paced episode this week? Let me know that in the comments. And I'll see you guys next week for episode number 10. Peace out, my friends.